Hey, welcome to your Fielder's Choice MLB DFS Pre-Lock Live for tonight is Tuesday. So we're finally back after All-Star break. A couple other things going on, but we're back for our nightly show, 6 p.m. every night. We are, halfway through the season. A lot going on now here in your Fielder's Choice. So before we get to that, though, we got going on tonight. We got NBA Final Showdown, 9 p.m. Phoenix, Milwaukee, showdown for that. We got golf coming on this week, the 3M Open. I see there's a lot of soccer with the Gold Cup, some classic matches tonight. Last up tomorrow, showdown stuff. Adam will have information on that from your Fielder's Choice. All kinds of esports stuff going on. My man Eric's doing all that. And Prize Picks, we've actually been on a nice upturn with Prize Picks. We've been really rocking out. I see a lot of winners in our free Discord for that. Walt, our small sports guy, is doing TBT Prize Picks. So if any of you guys are into TBT and you guys can play Prize Picks, check that out. I mean, I seen some huge numbers in our winning lineups last night. So check all that out. But pretty much right now it's baseball for a while before football starts. College football starts soon. But now it's kind of the grind of MLB. This is when we kind of make our money and do the real thing. So tonight, 13-game slate. We do have some weather. Also, if you're a premium member, check out our cheat sheet. Our cheat sheet's been updated. I didn't see that. So we'll get into that in a second also. But weather. We do have some weather problems, it looks like. So anything recently I'm seeing is now this Toronto game's a big question mark. And we do like players now. That's actually right now, that's now the highest implied, second highest implied site by a tenth of a point with Colorado. Implied game of the night. Also, it's looking not great in Atlanta again. They're actually saying it's looking worse than it did last night, which they should never postpone that game last night, but they did. So we got to pay attention to these games before lock. So I said Boston, Toronto, San Diego, Atlanta. Two games we want to see a lot of bats. And then some minor question marks actually in Texas at Detroit. And I know there's some interesting Skubal and even Dunning pitching tonight. So there's a line of storms going in. I don't think you'll see a postponement, but I am looking at Tarek Skubal in some cash games. So if you're on our Discord, your Fielder's Choice Discord, or a premium member, just make sure you're on before lock, and we'll try to update everybody, whatever we come up with here. So especially for cash games, we got to stay safe. That's weather. The two big games to look at. Vegas tonight. Right now, we have two teams over six runs implied. Colorado Rockies, we're in Coors tonight against the Mariners at 6.3. And then we have Toronto going up against Boston. Garrett Richards was a gas can at 6.2. And then below that, we have the Reds playing against the Mets are at 5.8, and then the Red Sox 5.4. And then we get down to like San Diego's, Houston's, and all that. So 3 big hitters parks going tonight, actually. We got the Cincinnati and New York going up against Great America Small Park in Cincinnati. So both of those games, seen all the runs that were scored here last night. Toronto, Buffalo, especially in the summertime, is turned to a hitter's park. And then we have a game in Coors. So it's more or less a hitter's game tonight. The problem is we have some expensive pitchers we'll get to in a second. So on the money line, it looks like Houston right now is now the biggest favorite. It was Tampa, but Houston is now, they're now live at minus 194, and Tampa's minus 191. And then the Rockies actually are third highest at minus 186. So the Rockies and Houston have actually jumped since this morning, and Tampa's jumped a little bit, but they're now second. So the highest favorite team on the slate tonight. All right. So like I said, our cheat sheet is updated. Let's get into pitching first. Man, there's so many ways to go here tonight. I've been going back and forth here before the show started. Honestly, I'm not sure where I'm going, my two pitchers. So let's just take a look at our cheat sheet first and look at ownership. And we do have on DK, we got 3 pitchers right now that we have projected over 30%. And they're all close. Aaron Nola, Shane McClanahan, and Yu Darvish. And they are probably the three main ones I'm looking at beside Tarek Skubal, and he's the fourth highest at 23%. So nobody else is over 20%. So we have Noah, McClanahan, Darvish, and Skubal. You got to make a pick on. You got to pick two of these guys for your DK cash and one of these guys for FanDuel. For FanDuel, right away, I would say I would probably be rolling with Aaron Nola at 9-1. He's cheaper than Darvish. He's $2,000 cheaper than Darvish. So on FanDuel, I think your safe top play is going to be Nola. So let's talk about Nola first. He's going up against Yankees, and normally everybody would be like, "Oh wow, he's going up against Yankees. You can't play him." The way the Yankees hit, but remember, this is the Yankee team that is without Aaron Judge. It's without Urshela. It's without Luke Voigt. Nola did pitch against the Yankees on June 13th, and he actually had a really good game. He had 9 strikeouts across 7 innings. So now with the Yankees missing, it's a watered down lineup big time. So, I mean, there's some sticks on the top of the order, but if you go down like from 5 to the bottom, it's pretty much a minor league lineup for the Yankees. So that's where I would pretty much lean Nola. Actually, right now, he's probably my top pitcher on DK also. So DK and FanDuel, I guess I'm leaning Nola as my number one, just from what he did against the Yankees a month ago. He's allowed at least 4 runs in 4 of his previous 6 starts, which isn't that great. But the good thing is though, during these starts though, he's still striking people out. So the whiffs are still there. This last game against the Cubs, he had 38% CSW, which is pretty elite. So I wouldn't really worry too much about Nola, thinking that there's a problem there. I think we just roll him out. Roll him out as your main guy in FanDuel, and I think we're going to roll him out in DK is probably my main pitcher. But you can go either way with these 4 guys. So now where do you go with your DK to? So first of all, we got Yu Darvish. Darvish is right now, according to our projections, our cheat sheet, he's looking at 33%. But now that we're seeing some weather issues, now we've seen them call that game last night. I wouldn't think they were going to call 2 games in a row, but they should never call it last night. So that may push some ownership off you and cash because of the rain. So it actually makes him a decent play probably for GPPs. But for cash, I may end up fading. I mean, he was on the IL. He had a bullpen session on Saturday, I think it was, and he said he felt great. He felt healthy, so there shouldn't be a pitch limit. It still scares me, and these guys coming off, IL, doesn't be pitch limits or not. We saw that happen. Who was it last night? And he ended up throwing like 3 innings. He still did pretty decent. Of course, I can't remember what it was now. But you always had that in the back of your head that they may not go a full 90, 100 pitches. But he's got 3.29 FIP, 29.8 strikeout rate, and he's going up against a Braves lineup that's missing Ronald Acuna. So, and we know how good of a pitcher Darvish is. So it does kind of put Darvish in play. But with the rain, it may end up dropping him down. So 2 other pitchers we got to look at. Tarek Skubal, I've turned kind of into a Skubal guy for Detroit. He's right now, he's looking at like 23% ownership. I'm starting to he's going up against Texas. Texas is not, we all know Texas is not hitting the ball. Let me see, he's 7-7. The last 30 days, the Rangers are striking out. They're not striking out much, below 22%, WRC plus 116, but we know they're going to strike out. He's got a 25% strikeout rate last month, CSW over 30%. So we know the upside is there. Let me see. He's allowed 3 earned runs or less over his last 6 starts. He's going at least 5 innings every start, striking out at least 5 in those 6 starts. 28% strikeout rate. Going up against the Rangers who can't hit. I mean, he's hitting like 12 to 14, 15 DK points. The problem with Skubal, though, you got to worry about home runs. He gives up a lot of fly balls. He gives a lot of hard hits. So I still think at 7-7, it's a great value. He's in line from SB2. I'm going to run him a lot in GVPs, but he's definitely in line as SB2. So close we have left. We have McClanahan for Tampa, who I think is actually going to be pretty popular. I didn't think it's going to be that popular this morning, but more I'm seeing it, he is going to be popular. Let me see. I mean, he's had a good season. He's striking out almost 30% K rate, 3.2 exit, which is really good. He's got the second highest favorite odds of the night. Baltimore strikes out 25% of the time. 22nd team Woba. Now he's 8-6. So he's 8-6 and Scooble's this is 7-7. So there's a little bit more than Scooble, but he's going to be popular. I think he's going to be in play. Let me see. Over the last month, Orioles got an ISO of 103 against lefties, which is bad. His walks are going up a little bit. It's over 10%, but the ballpark's going to play in his favor, though he's in a trot. So he has a decent value. So it's almost like a toss-up between McClanahan and Scooble. I think McClanahan's probably going to end up the most popular play. So, I mean, cash, maybe that's the way to go, is then to go to McClanahan, but he is looking to get more ownership. He actually has the highest swing and strike rate on the slate, 15.9%. Last start, he had a pitch count of 91. So that's all good. That's all good stuff. I mean, he hasn't been pitching great, but remember, he's also going up against his last two games against Blue Jays, one of the best offense in baseball. So tonight he gets the Orioles, who's a terrible hitting team. I think he's right up there with Scooble and probably a better slot than Scooble. And then who do we have left? Who do we talk about? The last guy, two other guys I want to talk about. One is Luis Garcia for Houston. I think Garcia is actually a sneaky play tonight. I could see using him possibly in FanDuel. He's got a solid 3.06 ERA, 111 WHIP, 97 strikeouts in less than 86 innings, and his advanced metrics are very well. I mean, opposing batters only hitting 206 against him. They're getting on his home run fly ball is barely double digits, only 10%, which is good. So he's 36% ground ball rate. And remember, and Cleveland's not exactly the toughest offense in the world to get out either. So they're batting 230, tying with the Cardinals for the fourth worst in the slate. So Garcia, I think, is a sneaky play, maybe more toward FanDuel. But if you're playing multi-entering, I would get Garcia in a couple lineups. And that brings us down to our last play in one. And I actually like him a lot. And I think you can see more ownership on him as the night goes on. But Marquez for Colorado. You never see Marquez getting much ownership because he pitches in Coors. But if you look at Marquez's numbers, he's actually pretty much pitching elite in Coors lately. Of course, now my computer is okay. Since June 1st, he's made 8 starts. He's allowed 2 earned runs or less than 7. I mean, this is elite stuff. His only bad start was in Cincinnati, which was in Coors. I mean, still a hitter's park, but was even in Coors. He struck out 52 guys in 54 innings, only walking 11. So that's 20.4% K to walk rate, which is solid. Hitters are, 1.5% bill rate, 33% hard contact rate, all good numbers. 3.06 home ERA in Coors, which is elite, versus the Mariners, and the Mariners are a team to strike out, 25.4% strikeout rate the last month against righties. Hitting 222, 96 WRC plus, terrible numbers. So most people are scared to play Marquez in Coors. When you look at his numbers, I mean, getting Marquez at 8-1 on DK is pretty much a present. And you're going to get him low owned. So I would say, I mean, it may be tough to use him in cash because we got, some of these other guys can be higher owned. But if you're making more than one lineup, I'll make sure Marquez is on, if not my first, my second lineup. So Marquez is a really good slot. He may end up actually as one of the highest or have the most points as a pitcher on the slate tonight. But once again, it's Coors, anything could happen. So I'm going to definitely make a lineup with some Seattle batters, which we'll get into a second, but Marquez is a good spot. So to kind of wrap it up, I think for pitching, right now I'm looking at Aaron Nola as my top pitcher on FanDuel and my top pitcher on DK. And then we got to decide who's going to be our number 2. And that's between Darvish, Skubal, I think, and McClanahan. Darvish is a pay up, but that's I'm going to worry about the rain. And then if you have the money, I'd probably go McClanahan and then maybe Skubal. All right. So if you guys have any questions, throw the questions out in the chat, the YouTube chat. I'll try to answer them. Not, we'll go around the bases with our cheat sheet, look at our ownership projections, see what the top plays are at each position, and we'll get out of here. So let's look at catcher first. My top plays is out. Right now, you got a couple ways to go for catcher. If you want to pay up, you got JT Realmuto, who's batting second tonight against Domingo Germán, who's just been terrible. Now Realmuto, who was in a slump most of the year, he's on fire. He's hitting 359 now, 2 home runs, 8 ribbies over his last 10 games. Great matchup in Yankee Stadium. So, but Realmuto is now 5K. If you have the money, you can pay for him. If not, we got Buster Posey, who I think was having a great year. Came back last night, had a huge game. Came off the IL. I don't think that their lineup is out yet. Let me see if the Giants are out yet. If any of you guys have seen a Giants lineup, I don't see anything yet. So if Buster makes the lineup, I like Buster a lot. Said he's went 2 for 5 last night. He had a home run. He's now hitting 330 on the season. 228 ISO, 970 OPS. Great matchup against the Dodger bullpen game. So Posey's 4-4. I'm probably going to drop down low tonight. Go a couple ways you can go now, even in cash. You got Mitch Garver, great spot tonight. He's always in play against the lefty, especially when he's 3-2, 386 ISO, 445 WOBA on that split. So Garver's in play. I think he's probably your top play at 3-6. But I like James McCann. I think McCann is a GPP play, but McCann crushes lefties. And he gets Wade Miley tonight, so you can definitely use James McCann. He had a home run yesterday, came in a game, pinch hit, actually hit one out. I'm assuming McCann's starting, right? Their lineup's not out yet. And then I got Cal Raleigh, who's actually batting 5th tonight in Coors for Seattle. A lot of people don't know Cal Raleigh, but he got called up last week. He's actually a Florida State kid. He was, I think, drafted in the 3rd round. He's actually a decent hitter. He was actually, I just called up at FSU at Florida State. He hit 282, 32 home runs, 194 games. So he said he's always been a solid hitter. He's the second guy actually from Florida State to be called up this year. Taylor Walls from Tampa is the other guy. So Rally's, I think, is actually a good spot tonight at 2-0. Anybody else you can use down there? You can use Jonah Heim for Texas. He's probably batting 5th. Then you got Tucker Barnhart for the Reds in a hitter's park, batting 7th against Robert Stock for the Mets with the gas can. All right, so if you got the money, is JT or Posey. If not, I'm probably going to go down a guy like Cal Raleigh. Give him a chance in Coors. Maybe he can lose one. If not, you got Garver's going to be popular, and then James McCann, a GPP play. Yeah, Connor Joe's back. I'm curious to see what kind of chalk Connor Joe's going to be, because we also have Zimmerman. We'll get to now at first base anyway. So let's talk about first base. First base, our projections right now. What are we looking at? We're looking at, actually, I see Cal Raleigh jumped up almost 20% for catchers. Wow. Okay, so first base, we got Joey Votto. Votto's at 12%. There's nobody running away on DK. Votto, 12%. Vlad, 11. Alonso, 11. All these guys. I said, now we got Connor Joe playing. He's probably going to be up to like 15%, maybe more. So first base is kind of a free-for-all, really. If I don't have any money, if money doesn't matter to me to play still Vlad. He's just a default play. Going up against Garrett Richards is horrible. Plus Vlad is 5-for-7 against Richards lifetime. Just as a guy you can smoke, Richards is terrible. If not, CJ Cron. I think CJ Cron is probably the best spot playing at first base for GPPs. He's especially now with Connor Joe playing, everybody's going to forget about CJ Cron. Cron is going to be a great GPP play, especially against the lefty. use him in all formats, but he's not going to be as high owned as we thought earlier today with Connor Joe playing. Another guy I like who's actually cheap. I like Gavin Sheets a lot for the White Sox. He's kind of a boomer bust guy, but does have hits 9 of his 16 games since being called up. 388 ISO, 966 OPS, and he goes up against Ober, positive matchup. So Sheets is in play. I don't understand. I thought Zimmerman's gonna be a lot higher owned. I don't see Zimmerman right now on our projections. Ryan Zimmerman is batting cleanup today for Washington. So you want to make a national stack, you can get a really nice national stack today, playing guys like you got Zimmerman batting cleanup, and you can fit in Soto and Turner. Then you can play Jody Mercer. Jody Mercer was batting 6th. Jody Mercer has always hit lefties in his career. He can handle Trevor Rogers. So you got Mercer, Josh Harrison, all these cheap guys. So Zimmerman at 2-2, I'd have no problem playing Zimmerman tonight at first base, even in cash. Probably at the end of the day, it's probably going to be in Connor Joe at 2-6 because he had a little run there. I think it was in May. Everybody's in love with him. Then he just shit the bed. He went to AAA. But at 2-6, honestly, I'd rather play Zimmerman, but the ownership might point you to Connor Joe in cash. I mentioned Vlad. Joey Votto is really hitting the ball. He's in a good spot tonight. Batting 3rd against Robert Stock in the Mets bullpen. So Votto's a great play. And Yuli Gurriel is always a good play for Houston. And it's pretty much it for first base. So if you pay up, go Vlad, GVP, CJ Crone, cash. I'd be looking at either a guy like a Zimmerman or Connor Joe. Connor Joe, I think, is batting 2nd, right, for the Colorado? Yeah, I see him. Okay, Seattle's lineup is out. Yeah, okay. So Joe's batting 2nd. All right, second base. Our projections right now at second are showing us. So Garrett Hampson is leading off. Okay, so our projections at second are showing Hampson as the highest on 27% on DK, 28% on FanDuel. So he's going to be the popular play in cash. I wouldn't be playing a guy like Hampson and GVP tonight because they're going to be so popular. If I was playing I don't like playing Colorado and GVPs anyways, but if I did, I would be playing at the bottom of the order or something. But Hampson's going to be a popular cash play at 4-3. Almost probably near a core play, really. He's this whole season, he's done a really good job against lefties. 337, 394, 605 slash. He goes against Marco Gonzalez. Plus Hampson hits so well at home. He hits 310 at home. He's only hitting like 170 on the road. So Hampson's your top play. Jonathan India is another really good play at 4-0. This wasn't a course like India would probably be my top play. In July, he's got hits in 11 of his 14 games, 340 average, 170 ISO. Hitters Park, his home park, Cincinnati. My pay up, and you don't want to do a pay up tonight, but if you did a pay up, Semion's gonna be popular, of course, Toronto. I like Eduardo Escobar for Arizona. He's gone deep 5 times now in 13 games in July. Now gone deep back-to-back games. So I like Escobar, especially now as GPP play. Anybody I'm missing? I said Semien. He's hitting the ball harder. Adam Frazier. Frazier's now below 4K. So Frazier's in play, especially going up against Arizona. You can use Frazier as a one-off. You can use maybe make a little mini Pittsburgh stack. But anytime Adam Frazier is below 4K, he's way too good of a hitter, too good of a player to be at 3.9, hitting 325 in the season. All right, so that's pretty much second base. Once again, the top cash play is going to be Garrett Hampson. We want to be different. We're looking at India, Semien, and I really like Eduardo Escobar tonight. All right, third base. Our projections are looking at Kyle Seager. And once again, these are all below 50% ownership, so it's not like he's running away with it. So Seager for Mariners, if you're not playing Marquez, Seager's a top play. Seager kind of does fit well into this Coors game because his hard hit and his fly ball rates are all over 50%. He's definitely a boomer bust player, but he's the type of fly ball hitter that can actually do well at Coors. So Seager's a play. The top play, I think, of the slate is going to be Rafael Devers. He had a bomb last night. I think he's your top pay up again. He's going up against it's Kid Hatch. He's making season debut for Toronto. Hitters Park. He crushes righties. We saw we did it to a righty last night. So Devers right back and play today as your top third baseman. Seager's gonna be the popular one. You got Key Brian Hayes, who's now only at 4K, who's in play. Kevon Biggio. I'm assuming Biggio is in the lineup. Biggio is starting to hit the ball much better. He's batting 8th, so Biggio's in play. He had a home run last night, which is nice. And then my sneaky play as a punt is Mlb Dfs for Pittsburgh. He's only 2-3, but he's on a 6-game hitting streak. So, it's just for GPPs only, but during that hitting streak, he's hitting 476, 5 ribbies, 5 runs scored. So I don't think Pittsburgh lineup is out yet, right? So if Depot's in there, you're making a stack, I'll get Depot in the game somewhere. Anybody else at third base who I like? Not really. I forgot if Fando you can play Vlad, right? So I guess Vlad's in play. But to me, my top is Devers. I don't like Seager, but I think you may have to use him in cash. He's maybe popular because he's more of a GPP play. And then Key Brian Hayes, who's always in play. I'm a big Key Brian Hayes guy. All right. You guys don't have any questions? Yeah, he's made a comment about Default. Yeah, he's been solid. I like Default. I just think he's a nice, solid little utility guy. Shortstop. Once again, to me, it's all about Tatis. Story's going to be popular, but we got to monitor that rain though in the San Diego Atlanta game. But Tatis is always the play to me. Now he's like Vlad. He's matchup proof. You had the money playing. Trevor Story though is going to be popular tonight. A lot of people are all over Story. Story just isn't hitting this year. He is in a good spot against Marco Gonzalez. He's Gonzalez probably having just as bad of a season as Story is hitting, but Gonzalez has got a 2.38 home run per 9 rate. That's probably all you need to know about Story and Coors. So Story may end up at the end of the day being the popular play. I would still go Tatis if I had the money. He gets a lefty tonight, Tatis. But once again, anytime up until this year, you get Story at home and Coors against the lefty, you play a Story. So both those guys are in play. Shortstop, you got to pay up tonight. You don't pay down a shortstop in cash. You can put Bo Bichette's in a great spot. Another play who I really like, actually, the covered boy here on the video is Timmy Anderson. And Anderson's going to be really low owned tonight because everybody's going to be on Tatis and Story. Anderson right now, he's raking on a 16-game hitting streak. During that hitting streak, he's hitting 394, 10 extra base hits, 239 ISO, 1.053 OPS, and he's facing Ober. And the problem with Ober, he's been struggling to keep the ball in the park, especially against righties. So I like Anderson a lot tonight, but all these guys are going to play. Tatis, Anderson, Story, Bichette. If for some reason you're going to drop and you wanted to GDP, you want to be a little bit different, the only where I'd probably go is Didi Gregorius. Didi Gregorius loves that Yankee Stadium short right field porch. Now that he's his elbow. Obviously his elbow's healing now because in July, since he's been off the IL, now he's got 4 home runs in July, 5 ribbies. He knows that Yankee Stadium short porch. Didi is in play if you're going to drop down. Anybody else? I would say no, beside maybe Nicky Ahmed. If he's leading off tonight for Arizona with the lefty going, I think Nicky Ahmed's always in play against lefties at 3-6. I'm a huge Nicky Ahmed guy. That's pretty much it for shortstop. That's the only guys I'd really be looking at tonight. Pay up Tatis, Anderson, Story, or Bichette, and move on. Yes, Anderson is really nice. He's probably my favorite play. I'm not saying I'm going to go with him in cash because he's going to be low owned, but if you're making more than one lineup, I want Timmy in my lineup. He's just raking right now. Outfield. So there's so many ways to go tonight in outfield. I don't even know how to even talk about it, but so you can kind of go by teams. You got the Reds. You got all these guys. We got Jesse Winker, who's now at 3.9. Winker's 9.39 outfielder. You got Aristides Aquino hitting cleanup at 2.4. You got Tyler Naquin at 2.3 hitting fifth. Naquin, what do you have? 5 hits last night? All these Reds are in play. So happens you can't play all those outfielders. All 3 of those guys are in play, can be in play in your cash lineups. I'm probably leaning toward like a Naquin and Winker in my lineups. I know a lot of people are going Aquino. He's batting cleanup, but I'm just more of a Naquin guy. So you got the Reds. You definitely have the Mariners. You got guys like Mitch Haniger. If you're not going to play Marquez, Haniger, you got Jared Kelenic. Both those guys are in play for Seattle and Coors. You got the guys. You got pay up. You got Bryce Harper. Great spot against Domingo Germán. Germán right now has become a gas kid for the Yankees. He's not pitching well. Harper's on fire. Hits 9 of his last 10. 350 batting average that time. Great spot in Yankee Stadium tonight. Bryce Harper. He's probably your top pay up. Juan Soto. Soto's just been totally on fire. He actually became the first player in Major League history to have 5 home runs and 10 hits in his first 5 games after the All-Star break, which I didn't realize that till today. So Soto's, of course, he's on fire in play. Nelson Cruz is in play because he only has owned Dallas Keuchel in his career. He's got 6 homers against Keuchel, 18 for 55 BVP. Cruz is in play. So I think out of all those guys, Harper's your top play for pay up. Mid-range, you got Blackman, you got Garrett Hampson, JD Martinez I like. So many guys here. Martinez, a nice sneaky spot, going to be low owned. And then you got your values. Tommy Pham, you got Trent. Pham's batting 5th. Trent Grisham's leading off tonight. Always Brian Reynolds. He's cheap again. He's under 4K again. 269 ISO, 3.9 WOB on the season. We've already mentioned Winker's in play. Then you got these punt. We mentioned Aquino and Naquin for your punts. And they also got this Jarren Duran for the Red Sox. He went up $300 last night. He had his first home run. So Duran's a great play also. So you should be able to make a strong lineup anywhere you go tonight with all this. That's why I'm saying you could probably even play a Nola and Darvish in cash if the weather's okay in the Darvish game with that money. Brian Goodwin's in a good spot for the White Sox. You want those lefties for the White Sox? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Maybe not. Yeah, I said him. I said Gresham, said Durant, and Kiki Hernandez, all these Red Sox guys. Kiki, JD, Verdugo, all these guys. All right, so right now, if I was going to make a core right now for cash, because I haven't made a core yet in my article. It's going to be tough, but I'm probably going to lean. Let me see. I like this Cal Raleigh catching. If not, I'm going to be using Garver. I think Hampson's a core play. I think Tyler Naquin's a core play. I think Winker's a core play. And I think, of course, Tatis is always a core play. I think with a lot of this value, you can almost make a lineup with Vlad and Tatis in your lineup tonight. I'm looking at it. If you don't go with your man Connor Joe, Chris Duffy's going to be using Connor Joe, obviously, but have fun with that. Brad Miller playing tonight too. Brad Miller's a great spot for GVPs. We know what Brad Miller can do on the platoon split. All right, if you guys don't have any questions, my top that I mentioned, I didn't mention my top stacks. My top stacks are, of course, I said the Red Sox, Reds, Rockies, and I like the White Sox tonight as a sneaky stack. All right, no questions. Let's hit. Christoph, you can't fit Connor Joe in. I think you should be able to at that price. I like Ryan Zimmerman better, but I guess it all depends on what pitchers. One of my lineup I'm gonna have. I know I'm gonna have Nolan Skubal in one, and I may end up going Nola and McClanahan in one. If this weather scares me away with Darvish, because you never know what they're gonna do in this weather. Actually, before we go to price picks, let me see if does anybody know, has there been any change in weather? 6 pole swimmers have been sent home from the Olympics after the country accidentally selected too many swimmers. See that? Wow. So the latest update in Atlanta, Kevin Roth, the Rotor Grinders weather guy, is saying that it's actually scarier than anything we saw last night. He said we need to watch radar trends closely as we get closer to first pitch. So that's probably going to knock Yu Darvish out of any cash game consideration for me. And we also said Toronto game is also a big question mark. So that may make a lot of changes here. So I mean, I'm going with Trevor Story, Timmy Anderson, Bichette, and Vlad, and Tatis are all weather questions. This is going to be a tough one. I just saw a note from somebody who said they live in Buffalo, and they said that the game it's really dark there, but that's just from some guy on Twitter. All right, so we got to monitor that on Discord as we get closer to lock at 7:05. Okay, so Price Picks, code YFC. We've been crushing Price Picks, especially I said our other sports. The TBT's been crushing; they've been winning. I know soccer wins a lot. Who do I have tonight for MLB? On my article, I have a couple plays. I like Vlad. I always like Vlad. Vlad over 1.5 runs and RBI easy. Aaron Noah, I have him over 7 Ks. He should be able to strike out more than 7 Yankees tonight. You look at that Yankee lineup, and this is a terrible lineup. And if he could strike out 8 Yankees last game, and now he's got Rob Brantley's catching tonight. I didn't even realize that. You got Rob Brantley catching, Greg Allen batting 7th, Esteban Florio batting 8th, Tyler Wade batting 9th. And when you got Rogue Odor as your number 3 hitter, you got problems. And Brett Gardner, who's as old as I am, leading off tonight. Wow. So no DJ. I didn't even realize there's no DJ tonight. This is a watered down lineup, man. Noah should strike out 15 guys. So Noah over 7 Ks, that's a lock of all locks. JD Martinez over 0.5 runs. Definitely if that game plays in Toronto. And I also like the Michael Brantley over 1.5 total bases for Houston. I'm another Brantley guy. I think 1.5 total bases is easy for him tonight, especially in the spot there. And Houston's in a sneaky spot against Tristan McKenzie. All right, so that's Prize Picks. Any questions? We got to pay attention to weather tonight, which is going to affect actually a lot of our cash lineups. It's going to affect our, if we can use Darvish or not. It's also going to affect you're going to use guys like Tatis and Vlad and Bichette and Semien and the rest of these Toronto guys. All right, so if you're on our Discord, if not, your Fielder's Choice, $35 a month. For a 6 month, we cover every single sport, especially the small sports. If it's on DK and FanDuel, we cover it. Plus the big sports. They say college football's coming up. We cover that. We're crushing that. And I think that is it. No questions. Thanks, John Mott, my producer. And we will be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Wednesday night.